Welcome back, everybody. Today's deep dive is going to be really interesting. I think we're exploring the work of Warren.
Oh, yeah. Warren's great.
He's a creator and entrepreneur. Over 20 years of experience leading teams in the financial services and SaaS industries.
Yeah, he's been around.
And he's really passionate about helping people like you and me unlock a more focused mindset.
Absolutely. And he really delivers.
Yeah. And trust me, his insights are powerful.
Yeah.
He doesn't just talk about personal growth.
Right.
He gives you actionable tools to actually make changes.
I love that about him.
Yeah, he doesn't just tell you what to do. He actually gives you like this step-by-step. But what really grabbed my attention was how he exposes these common lies we tell ourselves.
Oh, interesting.
These sneaky little thought patterns that hold us back without us even realizing it.
You know, that's fascinating because it's not like we're intentionally lying to ourselves, right?
Right.
It's more like we've adopted these narratives over time. Yeah.
Almost without noticing.
Totally.
They become our default way of thinking.
Yeah.
And then they can have a huge impact on how we show up in the world.
Exactly. Like it's almost subconscious, right?
Yeah.
And the first lie Warren tackles is the one we're probably all guilty of at some point.
Okay.
The I'm fine lie.
Oh, yeah.
We all do it, right?
All the time.
Put on a brave face when things are tough, downplay our struggles,
Yep.
and tell everyone, I'm fine, everything's fine.
Right.
But what's the cost of this constant pretending?
Well, you know, Warren argues that by burying our true emotions, we're not actually protecting ourselves.
Right.
It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater.
Oh, I like that.
Eventually, it's going to pop up. And often in ways we don't expect.
Yeah.
Maybe we lash out at someone we care about, or we make decisions from a place of exhaustion and resentment instead of clarity.
That makes so much sense. I know for me, whenever I've tried to power through when I'm actually feeling overwhelmed or stressed.
It almost always backfires.
Really?
It's like I'm building up this pressure cooker inside.
Oh, wow.
And eventually something has to give.
Yeah. Warren's advice here is to create space for daily emotional check-ins.
Okay.
Not just a quick mental scan,
Right.
but actually taking a few minutes to sit with yourself and ask, how am I really doing? What's going on inside?
Like a self-reflection kind of thing?
Exactly.
And he even suggests writing it down, right? To get those feelings out of your head and onto paper.
It's a way to acknowledge and process those emotions so they don't fester and turn into something bigger.
So we've all been there with the I'm fine lie.
Right.
What's the next one Warren wants us to watch out for?
The someday lie. This one is all about procrastination.
Oh, boy.
And the illusion of waiting for the perfect time to start something.
I know this one.
You know, someday I'll start that business. Someday I'll travel the world. Someday I'll finally learn to play the guitar.
Oh, my gosh. I am the queen of someday.
Aren't we all?
My list is a mile long.
And that's the trap, isn't it?
Yeah.
We convince ourselves that there's this magical time in the future when everything will align and it will be effortless to pursue our goals.
Totally.
But Warren argues that this is just a way to avoid taking action in the present.
So how do we break free from someday land?
Right.
Does Warren offer any practical tips?
He does. And this one is surprisingly simple, but it can be incredibly powerful.
I'm ready.
He says the key is to set a concrete date.
Oh?
Don't leave it open-ended.
Okay.
Choose a specific day on the calendar to begin.
Got it.
Even if it's months away.
Interesting. So it's almost like making a commitment to yourself.
Exactly.
A promise that you're going to take action.
Yes. And then to make it feel less overwhelming.
Okay.
He recommends breaking that big, daunting goal down into tiny, manageable steps that you can take today.
I like that.
So let's say you want to write a novel.
Okay.
Instead of thinking, someday I'll write a book, you might set a date 6 months from now and commit to writing just 1 page a day.
I love that because even if it's just a small step, it's still forward momentum.
Yeah.
It's proof that you're serious about making this someday dream a reality.
Exactly.
So while we're on the topic, what's one thing you've been putting off?
Oh, gosh. Let me think. Think about it. What's a tiny action you could take right now?
Okay.
Move toward that goal.
I'm actually going to hold myself accountable here.
Okay.
I've been wanting to learn Spanish for years, someday.
Yeah.
So right now I'm committing to finding a language learning app and signing up.
That's great.
Even if I just spend 5 minutes a day, it's a start.
Yes. And you know what? I'm right there with you.
I
keep saying I want to start meditating.
Oh, yeah.
But I always find an excuse.
I get it.
So today's the day.
Awesome.
I'm going to set aside just 5 minutes before bed tonight to try it.
See, it's amazing how simply shifting from someday
to a concrete action can feel so empowering.
I love it. Okay, ready to delve into the next lie Warren wants us to confront.
Let's do it.
This one's a bit of a doozy.
Ooh, okay.
The "I'll be happy when" lie.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Well, this one hits close to home.
Yeah.
We've all fallen into this trap, haven't we?
For sure.
I'll be happy when I get that promotion, when I find the perfect partner, when I finally buy that dream house.
Right.
It's like we're constantly chasing this external marker of happiness.
Yes.
Thinking that once we achieve that thing, then we'll finally be content.
And that's exactly what Warren's challenging.
Okay.
He argues that this is a recipe for perpetual unhappiness.
Oh, no.
Because it places our happiness outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
It becomes conditional on achieving something external, which means we're always striving, always reaching for something just out of reach.
He uses a really powerful analogy to illustrate this point.
Okay.
He compares it to trying to fill a bottomless bucket.
Ooh, I like that one.
You know, no matter how much you pour in achievements, possessions, relationships, the bucket never truly fills up.
Right.
Because true happiness doesn't come from external things.
Exactly.
It comes from within.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if we're not supposed to chase happiness through achievements or possessions,
right,
then how do we actually cultivate it? What does Warren suggest?
He suggests that the key to lasting happiness lies in cultivating gratitude for the present moment.
Got it.
He talks about the power of starting each day by reflecting on 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small.
It's like shifting your focus from what you're lacking
to
what you already have, right?
Yes.
Instead of constantly striving for more, you're taking a moment to appreciate the good things that are already present in your life.
Absolutely. And this doesn't mean you can't still have goals or aspirations. It's about finding a balance between striving for the future and appreciating the present.
Yeah, that resonates with me. I've definitely been guilty of getting so caught up in chasing the next goal that I forget to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
It's like I'm always living in future happiness mode instead of experiencing the joy that's available to me right now.
And what Warren highlights is that this constant striving can actually sabotage our happiness. We end up feeling like we're never enough, like we're always falling short.
So practicing gratitude is like an antidote to that feeling.
It is.
It's a way to remind ourselves that we are enough just as we are.
Yeah.
And that there's already so much to be thankful for.
And it's not just about feeling good, though that's certainly a bonus.
Yeah.
Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can have a positive impact on our mental and physical health.
Really?
Our relationships, and even our sleep.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered the "I'm fine" lie, the "someday" lie, and the "I'll be happy when" lie.
Right.
What's the final lie Warren wants us to confront?
This one is particularly insidious because it can disguise itself as self-awareness. I can't
lie.
It's so easy to fall into the trap of telling ourselves, I can't start a business, I'm not creative enough, or I can't lose weight, I have no willpower.
Oh yeah, I've definitely said those things to myself.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it almost feels like a way to protect ourselves, right? Like if we convince ourselves that we're incapable of doing something, then we don't have to risk failing.
Exactly. It's a way to stay comfortably within our perceived limits. But what Warren brilliantly points out is that these "I can't" statements are often rooted in fear, not fact.
Right.
It's the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of the unknown that's holding us back.
So how do we challenge this "I can't lie"?
Right?
Does Warren offer any tools or strategies for overcoming it?
He does, and his approach is surprisingly simple yet powerful.
Okay, I like those.
He suggests replacing the phrase "I can't" with "what if." So instead of saying "I can't start a business," you might ask yourself, what if I could start a business? What would that look like?
It's like a subtle shift in language, but it completely changes the energy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Instead of shutting down the possibility, you're opening your mind to exploring it.
Exactly. It's a way to move from a place of fear and limitation to a place of curiosity and possibility.
I like that.
And this shift in perspective can be incredibly powerful.
And this reminds me of something Warren shares about his own life.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about how he used to be terrified of public speaking. He'd get nervous, his voice would shake, and he'd completely freeze up.
Yeah, he used to tell himself, I can't do this. I'm just not a public speaker.
Yeah.
But then he decided to challenge that belief.
Good for him.
He started small, practicing in front of friends and family. He joined Toastmasters to get feedback and refine his skills.
And eventually he transformed himself into a confident and engaging speaker. It's proof that these limitations we place on ourselves are often self-imposed. We're capable of a lot far more than we often give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely. And I think that's a powerful takeaway for all of us.
Yeah.
What if we could start to question those I can't stories we've been telling ourselves? What if we could replace them with what if?
Right.
And open ourselves up to a world of possibilities.
Okay, so we've explored these 4 common lies. I'm fine. Someday I'll be happy when, and I can't. They seem pretty harmless on the surface.
Yeah.
But, as we've discussed, they can have a huge impact on how we live our lives.
For sure.
What's the key takeaway here?
Right.
What does Warren want us to do with this information? Okay, so we spent this whole deep dive unpacking these 4 lies.
Yeah, I'm fine. Someday I'll be happy when, and I can't.
Yeah, they're so sneaky because they sound like things we say all the time.
Totally. It's like everyday language.
Oh, what's the real message?
Yeah, what's Warren getting at here?
Yeah. What does Warren want us to take away from this?
Well, I think it all comes down to recognizing the power of the stories we tell ourselves.
Oh, interesting.
Those seemingly harmless phrases, they actually shape our beliefs, our actions, and ultimately the reality we create.
And what I appreciate about Warren's work is that he doesn't just point out the problem. He gives us concrete tools to actually change those stories.
He does. He's all about action.
Yeah. We've touched on a few already.
Like the daily emotional check-ins.
Yep, setting concrete dates instead of vague some days, practicing gratitude.
Absolutely.
What else does he recommend?
He's a big advocate for journaling.
Okay.
Not just like recounting your day, but really digging into your thoughts and feelings, especially around these lies.
Okay.
Writing can help us uncover those limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And start to challenge them.
It's like giving those thoughts a physical form, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And once they're out in the open, we can start to see them more objectively.
Totally. And along with journaling, he also suggests using affirmations.
Affirmations, okay.
Now, I know some people roll their eyes at affirmations, but I think the key is to make them specific and meaningful to you.
So instead of just saying, I'm confident, you might say something like, I have the courage to speak up in meetings, or I trust my ability to make good decisions, right?
Yes, something that directly addresses the lie you're trying to combat.
I love that.
And the final piece of Warren's approach is accountability.
Accountability.
Having someone you trust to check in with.
Oh, okay.
Someone who can support you as you work to shift those limiting beliefs.
I think that's so crucial.
Yeah.
It's easy to get discouraged or fall back into old patterns when you're trying to make big changes.
Definitely.
Having someone to encourage you and remind you of your goals can make all the difference.
It's like having a personal cheerleader in your corner.
Yeah.
Someone to celebrate your wins with.
Yeah. And help you get back on track when you stumble.
So if we could boil down Warren's message to one sentence, what would it be?
You have the power to rewrite the stories you tell yourself and create a life that is more aligned with your values and aspirations.
Powerful stuff. And for those of you who are ready to dive deeper into Warren's work and discover more of his practical strategies, be sure to check out his Substack at mindsetrebuild.substack.com.
It's packed with insightful articles, exercises, and resources to help you on your journey to a more focused and fulfilling life.
And before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. If you could challenge just one of these lies in your own life, which one would it be?
Yeah, think about that.
And what's one tiny step you can take today to start breaking free?
Because remember, even the smallest action can create a ripple effect that transforms your entire life. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Warren's work. Until next time, keep questioning, keep growing, and keep believing in your limitless potential.